Pepper. Call it Pepper. Yeah. So it's the Kingdom of Pepper. So this is Kingdom of Pepper. Because I made a kingdom now, that means most likely there's a king. We won't worry about the king for now. But there is a monarch power. There is essentially a king who will collect taxes from this town. So now economy has something else. It has taxes. You know, so Red Oak Town has multiple different ways of earning money. The first three things I came about because I put it next to a forest. Next thing, because it's in a kingdom. So you see how everything connects when you work on the setting first. Now, the next thing I would do is, so, I mean, if there's a kingdom, there would be a city, a capital, you can say, and I call that, if it's called Kingdom of Pepper, I'll call it Paprika. Yeah. Paprika is this capital, and then, what do I want to call the king? Should I make the king right now? I mean, the king, you don't have to make just yet. Like I said, we're focused on the settings, but just for the fun's sake, King Salt. Because he's King Salty, the fourth. Pretty salty man. But yeah, so I have the king now as well. But like I said, don't worry too much about making the characters. We want to focus on setting. This is just for fun that I did that. But yeah, Paprika is the capital. Then we can say there's another town here. There's another town here if you want to. The distance could be like, what would this be? Like I can make this maybe 100 miles. So this would be like 3-day travel. Dang, actually no, that would be pretty strong. That'd be pretty far. Actually, let's make it 50 miles and it's a 3-day travel. This would be like a 6-day travel. Yeah, this would be 6-day. This would be like 4 days. But see, I already have a pretty decent idea of the location now. There's a giant forest. There is 3 towns, and there's a capital. Now, if we want to add more, like I said, you can keep going with this. Like that's what I kind of want you guys to kind of focus on, because at this point is where I'm gonna actually stop. I'm gonna stop right here for now. I'll stop right here. I've made Red Oak is where I'm gonna put my players. Red Oak is gonna be my main town. Don't worry too much. I haven't built it yet. Like I said, we just want to work on the setting right now. Nothing too detailed just yet. In the sense of like what this town consists of, the people, things like that. Like I said, that's all gonna come later. Red Oak is the main town. We have the capital. Because this is a kingdom now, so there's a capital. There's 2 other towns that they can explore. The players can explore as well as go to the capital. So there's actually quite a bit of stuff I've made here by just very simple steps, right? And essentially the strategy here is you start off with nothing, and then you have you pick the type of campaign you want. Because I picked low fantasy, it gave me the structure of it being kind of set in more of a realish world than high fantasy. And then I just kind of took it as, you know what, it's set in England and it's set in medieval times, so now I already have a location, geography, things like that. And then I just made like basically a forest and a town right there, and that kind of set up a lot of different stuff, like, you know, how the economy works. Is there a kingdom that it's part of? Is it neutral? Things like that. You can go into multiple different ways. So for now, I want you guys, so this is your homework, you can say, if you want to kind of make your campaign like right next to mine. This is a homework. I want you to pick your setting and what type of campaign it is. So setting for campaign. And setting, what I mean by that is like just have like a big location, and then go small and keep going smaller and smaller and smaller till you have your town, till you have your kingdom. If you're going for a medieval time, till you have a kingdom, till you have a capital, and then maybe like 2 or 3 more towns, their names, things like that. If you want to go more details, like, okay, I want to make the exact boundaries of like each kingdom or something like that, or if you want to make the neighboring kingdoms, go right ahead. Like I said, if you want to go into more of the setting, I am not stopping you, but I just don't want you to focus on, you know, more than that. I don't want you to focus on like the relationships. I don't want to like the relationship between the kingdoms. I don't want you to focus on the people. I don't want you to focus on the story, characters, none of that. All right, just the setting. Just focus on the setting for now, and then next video I'll show you what my next process is to build more stuff. And I know this looks pretty messy, but basically I'll have it kind of listed, all the stuff that I did in this video for the next video, so you have a better understanding of where we're gonna begin from. Where we're gonna continue from. But yeah, so that was it. Hope you guys liked it, and want you guys to give it a try as well. So now that I've finished my brainstorming part, it's time to put it all together in much cleaner fashion. So for my campaign setting, I have low fantasy, medieval age, set in 1100. Oh, that was weird, but like 11,000 AD. There we go. Set in the future. So now that I have that, next thing is country, which is England, because England is where the shit happens. Alright, kingdom. So here, pepper. Haha. Almost went to paprika. Hometown, Red Oak. So hometown, again, it does not mean that they live there, the players live there, it's just that's where they're beginning. So I have that as a hometown. Geography, basically all the geography related to Red Oak. So we have, you know, Pinewood Forest, Paprika capital city, 2 other towns that I have not named yet. I will have them named pretty soon, I'm sure. Just they don't matter yet, so it's cool. And then the last thing, of course, is Kingdom of Pepper. Now, these are the notable geography that's around Red Oak. Now I know I have like the kingdoms as a geography, but it's all around the main hometown city, Red Oak, and that's what I have. Now with all this information, I'll be able to go further into building the world. But for now, I'm pretty happy with this. This is not bad. I can do a lot of fun stuff with this. So now that I've finished my process, it's time for me to kind of give you a cleaner version of the guidelines that I would like you to follow. The very first thing, essentially, number 1, is pick your genre. So, you know, pick whatever genre you want to essentially make a game about. Again, try something that interests you. You know, even though I said, like, you know, pick high or low fantasy preferably, but if science fiction, like, you know, really interests you, go right into it, man. Like I'm telling you, it's gonna be tough in the beginning, but you will get better, and hopefully essentially the videos that I'll make will help you get to, you know, the point where you're really having a good time making stuff and playing with your friends, essentially. Okay, so now next thing, there we go. I like that too. Two's clean. Create your world. And time. So now that you've picked your genre, whatever genre it is, you want to create the world that your players are going to inhabit and the time of it, you know, the timeline. You can make your own, you can pick the world that already exists, like Earth. You can do whatever you want with it, but that's the next step, essentially. Now the third thing is start to minimize, aka chip off. So now that you've created something really big, essentially, like the planet, for example, start making it smaller. Start focusing more and more and more into a smaller scale, because like I explained, the characters are not going to explore the world instantly. They can't. This is something that's going to start off small and it's going to get there eventually. So minimize, make it smaller till you have essentially a town or a place where the players will start. So after minimizing, create home location, and home location essentially means where your players will begin. Players will begin. So this is essentially where the players are going to begin playing the game. Doesn't mean that this is going to be their home, but this is where they start off. So this is the place where you want to definitely have made, and maybe a surrounding area or two. But that's all you need to do for now. You can go into more details about the setting, but stay on within these 4 guidelines. Don't make a story, don't make characters, don't make relations or history, stuff like that. Don't worry about those just yet. Just setting is the key. So setting is the first step. Okay, so setting. Alright, that's all you gotta do. And then so I'm gonna give you guys smiley face. So yeah, put down in some comments below if you guys ever make a campaign like this, and you know, what step are you at and what have you made so far. I would love to hear it, or well, I love to read it, sorry. I would love to read it. So yeah, that's it. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. I'll be making more videos very soon. Probably by next week I'll have more parts out for this one. I still don't know exactly my structure of how I'm going to have things being put out in the schedule for it, but I'll definitely have at least 2 videos a week out, and hopefully you guys have a good time watching them. So I'll see you guys later.